Welcome back. We should place a phone call to the reporter we saw at the Oak Tree Mall, because maybe their newspaper can help us find a witness. So let's use the phone on our new desk and call the reporter, which is 555-0707. Lytton Daily News, may I help you? You identify yourself, describe Marie's attack, and request help from the paper in locating a witness. Yes, sir, officer. We'll get that in the very next edition. And good luck, sir. Okay, good. Now I said I want to book the star we found as evidence. Now we have the case number from the captain. We can do that. But we should remember this number, the serial number, 09987. I'll catch up with you later, Sonny. Yeah, sure, whatever. Why did she have to be our partner? I mean, Keith was mostly useless, but at least he wasn't annoying. Okay, to submit items as evidence, we have to go to evidence lockup, which is next to the prison here. That door leads to evidence lockup and lab analysis. So anything we want to submit as evidence or for analysis, we have to go here. And we just drop the items in the basket. At the counter. What case number, Sonny? Well, 199144. Name? Marie Bonds. Description of evidence? Bronze star. Location found? Scene of attack, mall parking lot. And disposition? Secure as evidence. And while we're here, we should also book the chain that the Bronze Star was likely attached to. What case number, Sonny? Same as before. Name? Marie Bonds. Description of evidence? Broken neck chain. Location found? Clutched in victim's right hand. And disposition? Secure as evidence. Okay, let's head back to our office and look into Marie's case file, as well as that related stabbing case that the captain told us about. And for that we have to use the computer, which we haven't actually done yet. We got the access card previous day. We didn't actually look at the computer so far. Anything on the bulletin board by now? Rarely do you find anything of interest on the bulletin board. No. Interesting that there's an extra chair next to the desk. I wonder if that'll be used sometime. Okay, let's use the access card. Put it into the card reader. And the computer basically looks a lot like the computer we have in our car, but it has a few more functions. We can go to DMV here, and that basically gives us exactly the same stuff we have in the car, except without the Form 900 button, so we cannot print tickets from here. We won't be needing that though. We will be using homicide personnel and tools though. Right now we need to look at homicide. But before we do, I'm going to look at personnel just for fun. And most of the names here are actually Sierra employees, mostly people who worked on this game. You might recognize some names from other Sierra games, like Mark Crow, who's of course famous from the Space Quest games, Carlos Escobar, who's a programmer, I think, also on Leisure Suit Larry. Yes, he's, see, listed as Leisure Suit Larry 5 programmer. He's missing in action. Okay. Jane Jensen, who is a writer for this game. She also wrote most of King's Quest VI, and also the what are they called? I can't remember. Oh, Gabriel Knight. Sorry, that was the name I was looking for. The Gabriel Knight games. She also wrote those. And Jim Walls himself is in here as well. Of course, the designer of this game and a former real police officer. Codename Iceman is another Sierra game that he made, apparently. I don't know that game. There are actually also a couple of real Lytton PD personnel files in here, like our own file, Sonny Bonds. And it has some information in here that contradicts previous games, because much like the previous games, this game can't decide what year it actually is. Well, no, that's not entirely true. This game thinks it's 1991. What it isn't clear about is what year the previous games took place in. Because Police Quest 1 contained some contradictory references that it might have been taking place in 1983, or maybe it took place in 1987. Then Police Quest 2 contained contradictory references that it took place either in 1984 or 1988. And now here we see that Sonny was apparently hired in 1985. At least I think this means date of hire. Makes the most sense anyway. But the bizarre thing there is that even if you accept that Police Quest 2, the later date, was correct, then that Police Quest 1 actually took place in 87, this is still not possible, because in Police Quest 1, Sonny was supposed to be a 15-year veteran. Which means that he was hired in 1972, possibly even in 1968. By which time he was apparently 15 years old, according to this date of birth. Oh well. Let's see, who else is interesting to look at? Earl Hanks is our colleague with the newspaper from just now, I think. He was hired in 81, apparently. This is the first time we've ever seen him, so at least that cannot contradict anything. Departmental action, sustained complaint, May 1987. Conduct unbecoming an officer, departmental disposition, 2-day suspension without pay. Okay. And there is Pap Morales. Strangely, Captain Tate is not listed here. Anyway, I don't know. Let's look at Morales' file. And she has a lot of departmental action listed here. February 1981, written reprimand for insubordination to a supervisor. November 1986, 1-day suspension without pay for defying a direct order. February 1st, 1987, Internal Affairs file open for willful destruction of evidence. Internal Affairs inconclusive. November 5, 1989, tampering with evidence. Findings, charges dropped. May 1990, terminated for destruction of evidence. August 1st, 1990, reinstated. That doesn't look good. She was even terminated once. Okay, she was rehired, but still. Add to that the complaint that we had to deal with and the trouble with the pregnant lady, and her already shaky reputation just got a lot worse. And now she's our partner. Great. We'd better keep a close eye on her. But we'll continue in the next video.